Welcome to the overview screencast for the FOSS Air and Weather Unit of Study. The FOSS Air and Weather Unit of Study is taught in first grade in the Boston Public Schools. In this overview screencast, we will identify the big science ideas taught in this unit and explore resources you can find on the BPS Science Weebly and FOSS Web to support your teaching. We will also look at scheduling this unit and identify some opportunities for science specialists to collaborate with classroom teachers when teaching this unit. Before we get started, let's take a moment to bookmark two important resources. The first resource is the Boston Public Schools Science Department website. The BPS Science Weebly is the place to find resources including information about how to order your kits for the year, upcoming science PD opportunities, and science classroom observation tools. During this overview screencast, we will be looking at resources found in these two tabs: Student Learning Outcomes, Pacing Guides and Calendars, and Science and Literacy. So keep a tab open to the Weebly as you watch this video. Another helpful website is FOSS Web. Creating a teacher login is free. Once you have created an account, use the BPS Premium code to activate the Air and Weather module. Here you can find the e-teacher guide, module updates, and teacher preparation videos, as well as duplication masters, taking FOSS outdoors, and student ebooks. The FOSS Air and Weather Unit of Study explores big ideas in earth science. You can find these big ideas on the Student Learning Outcomes document found on the BPS Science Department website. Let's hop over to the Weebly to take a look. In the left column, click on Student Learning Outcomes, Pacing Guides and Calendars. The SLOs are at the top of this page. Each SLO provides information about the expectations for students' learning, standards, close reading assignments, as well as pacing and the main learning targets for each unit. Scroll down and click on Grade 1 to download the SLO document for first grade. The student learning outcomes for the Air and Weather Unit of Study are on page 3 of the document. If you haven't already, feel free to pause this screencast and take a minute to download and maybe even print a copy of the Grade 1 SLO document. We will be looking closely at this document to get ready to teach the Air and Weather Unit of Study. The overarching themes for the unit are listed in the top row of the SLO chart. They include air is matter, a gas, and can be compressed, change over time, weather, meteorological instruments, sun and moon position, and moon phases. The student learning outcomes, the objectives for the unit, are described by investigation in this column. Each SLO includes correlations to the current Massachusetts Science and Technology Engineering standards. For example, in Investigation 1, Exploring Air, students will observe the properties of air as it interacts with other materials. For example, it is matter, takes up space, interacts with objects, is all around us, can be compressed, and it is a gas. This addresses State Standard Earth Science 2. Understand that air is a mixture of gases that is all around us and that wind is moving air. Now for the nitty-gritty, scheduling the unit. This unit has 4 investigations. Each investigation has 4 to 7 40-minute sessions taught over 2 to 4 weeks. This works out perfectly if you see your students twice a week for science. For many teachers, science may only happen once a week. In the screencast for each investigation, we will look at lessons to prioritize in order to maximize teaching the big science ideas of this unit. If you are a science specialist collaborating with classroom teachers, I recommend focusing science classroom time on investigations 1 and 3. These 2 investigations build student conceptions of properties of air. Consider asking classroom teachers to establish routines for investigations 2 and 4 in their classrooms. These 2 investigations focus on observing weather patterns and collecting data. They fit nicely into a morning meeting or math time, so some of the sessions scheduled for these investigations could be completed within the first grade classroom, instead of during time with the science specialist. To support the development of disciplinary literacy, the BPS Science Department developed close reading, text-dependent question sets for each unit of study in grades K through 12. Each close reading resource includes a complex nonfiction text and text-dependent questions that support close reading. Let's go back to the BPS Science Weebly to find the close reading resources for the FOSS Air and Weather unit of study. Click on Science and Literacy in the left sidebar. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on Close Reading Resources. And scroll down, and you'll find the selection for Grade 1. We'll click on FOSS Air and Weather, Understanding the Weather. This close reading selection is scheduled for Investigation 2, Observing the Weather. Watch the screencast for that investigation to learn more about close reading in the science classroom. To learn more about science and engineering practices highlighted in this unit, as well as details about how to teach each lesson, watch the screencast for each investigation in this unit of study. Happy teaching!